two groups of churches. I see the people who want to do discipleship, the Jesus New Testament model, which is really in the marketplace, the hands-on, the going out and reaching the lost. And then there's also the model, of really the mainstream Western Christianity church, with, entertainment and consumerism. And I just wonder, because I really think there's value in both of them, and I think you too. We've talked about this. I wonder how, because we've had these conversations before, what you're thinking as far as the future, the future for the church in America, the Western culture, and how you bridge those gaps, because the discipleship model seems to kind of want to break away. And then, and so it's how do you, because you need both of them. And I just wondered your thoughts on that.
Man, it's a continual battle in my mind, where I struggle because, like you said, I guess you can almost go back to like the John the Baptist days. Like you got the Essene community that are like these radicals that are out in the desert, that are these mystics that are taking things really seriously. And like, I'm wired that way in myself, to just kind of, I don't know, pull away into some weird Christian hippie commune and I don't know. But most of the time when you see those communities, they don't end well, or they get weird quick.
Yeah.
They really do. Like, it doesn't take long. And I also wouldn't want to be the leader of one of those things. I'd like to just be a wallflower or something there,
Sure.
So yeah, I think the biggest thing, I'm reading this book right now, could not recommend it more highly, called Subversive Sabbath, by this guy named AJ Swoboda. And it's a really good book. I think it won Book of the Year actually. And I'll just read this quote to you real quick.
Sure.
I happened to be reading this, I think, a day or two ago. He's talking about consumerism culture. He says this, he's talking about a cultural critic named Daniel Harris. He said this, that in a fragmented society in which major institutions like the church and the community no longer play the same role in bringing people together, owning identity possessions becomes one of the chief ways in which we experience community, overcome our isolation through shared patterns of consumption. And I think that's the setting we find ourselves in, is we live in a consumer society and it's not going to change. I mean, Amazon, 72% of society, or in American culture right now, is within 1 day shipping of Amazon. I mean, it's crazy. So we become so impatient and want things immediately. Like yesterday, when we order something, and we have almost no patience for anything. And because of that, we've been catechized in a way to find community around the idea of consumption. So whether it's your Corvette club or your CrossFit gym, or, whatever, you dress up like an Avengers character. I mean, people are trying to find community in anything they can. So when I look at the future of the church, I can't project at all, other than to say, deeply concerned that we as pastors and leaders would be driving more into a consumeristic culture, because there's always going to be something bigger, quicker, faster, stronger. I mean, statistics are showing like a drop in church attendance in regards to regularity. It's like 1.7 times a month that people show up to church, even people like that are relatively committed, which is pretty wild. And then you see, of course, like Gen X and millennials are attending church altogether less, not even just less frequently. So to be pushing more into a consumeristic culture, it doesn't make sense to me when I read like the Apostle Peter saying we're a peculiar people, being marked with peculiarities of the fact that we are actually, I don't know, this might be the wrong picture, but like the church should be in its own sense like an aquarium, if you will, that like people come, when you walk through the aquarium and you look through the glass and like you see these strange creatures that like are modeling a different way of life in a different dimension, if you will, the water.
Sure.
When I look at the church, that's like, I think, why are we trying to become more like the people on the other side of the glass, rather than what is the thing that's made the church different, because sooner or later, you're going to find out that we're weird people. I mean, we believe in a virgin birth. We believe that God raised from the dead. We believe in the body and blood of Jesus. I mean, not as the Catholics, but
Right.
We certainly believe that the real presence of Christ is meeting us in, at least I do,
Yep.
he's meeting us when we
Yeah.
take communion. It's not just like choking down a small cracker or something. So yeah, I mean, the consumerism thing, I just think to myself, I, I hesitate doing or saying some of these things, but you see the way you catch them is the way you keep them, and as a church, if we're trying to bait people into come here to learn how to do this, that, or the other, how to be a better person, sooner or later they're going to look at it and be like, man, Christianity is actually not a promise of being a better person. It's really not. It's a promise of death and resurrection for your entire life until you literally die. It's Christianity is 1,000 many deaths and 1,000 many resurrections, and it's not always, it doesn't always feel like for the better, and the resurrection doesn't always look like what you thought it would look like. So yeah, the consumerism thing. And I kind of felt the pressure coming in here subconsciously, I would say, inheriting again, a little bit of a larger church setting of kind of going, okay, well, what's the goal? Is my goal to get more people in the doors and more money to come in and offerings? And I'm going, that feels really weird. That just doesn't feel, I don't know. Like, that doesn't feel like I would want somebody to see the inside of my life. And I don't know, kind of rambling on that, but yeah.
No, I understand.
So it just doesn't make sense to why we press faster into this consumerism thing when at the end of the day, it's actually the peculiarness of, we are different people that, a non-anxious space. I mean, God, you're being bombed. You can't even drive your car in silence without some guy beside you blasting music. And why do we think that the answer for people coming is to turn music up louder? Not against music. It's just like, creating a different sacred space actually probably is, got some value.